everyone. Welcome back to Beyond Sunday. This is a podcast where we talk about anything to do with worship leaders. You saw us in season 1. We had a fruitful season. Thank you guys for supporting me. Thank you for supporting the season. And if you have not watched, I don't know what you're waiting for. In fact, pause right now. Pause. Go back. Go and watch all of them and subscribe. Share this content to a music minister, a worship leader, a background dancer, anybody who ministers in church on the pulpit. This is for them. Be it your cousin, your relative, your auntie, your uncle, your sister, your everybody who is in the music ministry. They need to know about this podcast. It will be of benefit to them. Now, we are beginning with a wonderful guest, an amazing guest, one of my very good friends for a while. I've known him, I think, for like 10 years. My God, it's been a minute. But he's here with us, and we are about to have such a fruitful conversation. This season, we are talking about seasons and transitions and character. So let me tell you guys, you are in for a treat. So without further ado, I want to introduce my guest. Karibu sana Joe MasterKeyz.
Thank you, Wanza. Thank you for having me.
Who would have known that you are here?
Who would have known?
Welcome to season 2 of Beyond Sunday.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here, and you're doing such a beautiful job.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
It's such a privilege. Before I introduce you properly, before you introduce yourself properly, I want you to tell us what has been your favorite thing so far working with worship leaders. Disclaimer, we are laying the foundation.
Right. Generally speaking, I think what really shines out for me is to see the fulfillment they show on their faces when things come to fruition. Like, I think being behind the scenes and working with so many singers and, artists, worship leaders, you'd see the tension before the performance or the service, the recording, whatever. And so they're always second guessing, like, is it nice? Are you sure? Everything. I'm telling you, the list is like everyone you think has it, they're always worried. But when we go through the, let me use the word performance for this sake.
Yeah.
Then you'd see the fulfillment. It's like the joy in their hearts and in their faces just make me fulfilled. I feel like, oh, this was beautiful. I think that's usually a highlight for me, to see them so happy after something is successful. Yeah.
And now I know this is very, very, not weird, but it's a good thing that you're here, being an instrumentalist, being a music producer and all these things.
I want to be singer.
By the way, you have he has a really good voice, guys. I don't know why you hide it from people, but it's true.
Rumors.
So now I want you to introduce yourself in your own, to pay CV.
My goodness.
Give us your CV in case anybody is looking for you.
Right.
Tell us.
Okay. I'm talking to you guys over there. Okay. My name is Joe. Blaine Joe is my name, by the way. And on the streets, when I need a Joe be MasterKeyz. I think that's what they call me on these streets. I'm an legit. Anyway.
It's okay.
It's a long story. But actually that name came from a desire. When I was in getting into high school, and I was inspired by one of the players we had in the country during that time, called Aaron Rimbui. Yes. So his name was his stage name was Crucial Keys. So I was so inspired by, and then I was like, I need to get a name. I was going into high school. I was so young. And then I remember I asked myself, what do I want to be? And the answer was, I want to master this thing. So I said, I put the name MasterKeyz as a reminder to myself of the goal. That's how that came.
And that's how it stuck.
And then it stuck.
Yeah.
The time I tried to change it, and I was like, who is this social media? So I just took it back to MasterKeyz. Anyway, I am a creative. I love God so much. I mean, I've devoted my life to his service. Even doing work, what I call work, is still ministry driven. You know, my goodness, what do I say? I'm a husband to one beautiful wife. I'm sure she's going to be watching this. I have a beautiful son, or is it a handsome son? You know, and I'm in the creative space. I'm a keyboard player. I think I'm an all-round creative. Yeah. Sometimes saying I'm a keyboard player is an injustice to the things I've done. So,
I agree.
Yeah, so I play keyboard, you know, try help bands to put things together. You know, I guide vocals here and there. You know, I run a production company called Latville Studios, just turned 10 years. So, yeah, that's what I do.
That's really good, because now this makes you the right candidate to begin this podcast because of this conversation that we're about to have.
Thank you.
And for me, that means that you've just been through all the seasons, all the transitions. You've seen it all.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the few years you've been doing this. So I really want us to, you know, dive in deep. Do not hide anything from us. We want to learn. We want to know. From your years of experience, how you've been able to navigate seasons and transitions. So I want to begin by asking you, what are some of the seasons that you have been able to go through, and how were you able to become aware that this is a season that I'm in? I mean, we go through seasons here and there. The Bible says that there's a time for everything, you know, that we go through things. I mean, from when you're growing up, from the time you're a child, you go to high school, go to uni, you know, become a whole adult.
Yeah.
Adulting means. It's a scam, guys. We should
remain young.
Remain young. Stay young. But I really want to find out what are some of the seasons that you've been able to go through, and what made you aware that, I'm going through a season, I'm going through a transition, and how were you able to recognize, to shift from it? Take me through that process. Yeah.
Wow. There have been many transitions. I think one of the key transitions for me was, so I'm a PK.
Talk about it.
You know, you're PK.
I am.
Come on.
PK's out there. This is for you.
One of the key transitions was, and this one was difficult. I mean, it's, okay, transitions zimekuwa mingi. Sawa, wacha ni share hii. I think the transitioning from my dad's church. That was a transition.
Let's talk about that, because I feel like there are worship leaders or children, pastors' children, who are in the music ministry who are still struggling to You feel like, okay, we are two different kind of people. There are those people there are those pastors' children who know, I am called to be in my father's church.
Yeah.
You know? And then there are those ones who are like, I feel like I need to move. I need to, you know, explore other things. And both of them is fine.
Wote wako sawa.
Dude, our parents, I mean, you know.
Yeah.
It may not be as, but talk about it.
You know, I think, and I agree with you, this is a touchy matter.
It's
a touchy matter because I think from a parent perspective, there's this, let me use the word spectacles. Yeah, the spectacles they're using is it's going to affect the ministry and all that. So there is this worry of how they're looking at it.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes if they'll just change the lens Because no one knows, only God knows about the future. Maybe they are going to come back to make the ministry better later. Or maybe because the calling was to the parents, right? Or rather the man, the bishop. I think the general assumption that it's a family thing, I think that's where we go wrong. Because this is not an inheritance. This is a work of God, in my view. Yeah.
Yes.
So I think we look at it like a generational,
it must be passed down to
passed like this. Sometimes it happens, but it's not a template that must be followed.
Yes.
So I feel like that's why it's a touchy matter, especially from an African context.
Yes.
It's a very touchy matter.
Yes.
Because where are you going? Why are you not doing that here?
Yeah. Why are you giving them more than you're giving us?
Yeah, it's a tough one, and sometimes you don't have an answer to that, and in my story, this one was tough. So I remember sitting my mom and dad down and I can't really tell you, my life has heavily been, so I've been born again for a long time. I gave my life to Christ in standard 5, class 5. I'm trying to.
It's been a couple of years.
It's like 30 years ago or something like that. It's so I've done church. I mean, we are PKs, this.
Yes,
We're in church early and all that.
Yeah.
And so I remember this was when I was finishing campus. And I just knew it's time to transition. I could feel it, right? But I knew this is a difficult conversation.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with my father's church. That's the problem. It's not about the church.
Yeah.
It's about what God intended me to do.
Yeah.
And I knew this was going to be a difficult conversation. I remember I sat them down and I'm like, this is what I'm feeling. My dad did take it lightly. That was and the same script, of, how would people take it in the church, and, I see how they look at it.
Yeah.
So we had that conversation and I said, okay, let's do this. Yeah. Because for me, I'm not doing this because, I'm going to a better church. The thing was not better church. I think at that time I had served, I've been playing keyboard in some spaces here and there.
Yeah.
And coming back to church on Sundays.
Yeah.
So for me, it was not about a better church. It was just, I feel like I need to go to a new role of level of assignment. And it needed me to transition out. It's a difficult conversation. So we sat there and I remember we talked. He completely was against it. And so we agreed. We made a pact. Sawa. Let's do 90 days and then let's come back to table a report. That's how we did. And at that time, I thought I was transitioning to a particular church. Very, very weird. I thought I was going to that church, which I am in now, but I transitioned to a different church.
See, good
story for another time. Because that's where I knew. In fact, I was telling them I'm going to serve and Reverend Junior was going to Papa Center. Also, I thought how I landed up in the other church was very interesting.
Which you stayed for a couple of years.
In fact, I stayed there for a while.
Yeah.
6 long years.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So that's really how my transition. It was difficult. My mom, you can imagine nyumbani wenye iko, and it's just tension that you're waking up on Sunday and, we all go to church together.
Yeah.
Now this gentleman is not going with us anymore. So it was a difficult time, difficult. But I transitioned. I found myself on the other church. All my relatives were like, no, this is wrong. Everyone was telling me it is wrong. And I understood what they meant. But I felt like I was I felt like I was under instruction. Like there's something God needed to do with me that needed me to transition like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was not clouded to the idea that I can come back home. For me, it's not about ati sasa nimeenda. No, me, right now, I need to be
I need to be
somewhere
out.
else. Yeah. And I told them it's not, I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem coming back.
Yeah.
Right. So I was like, let's do 90 days. Let's see how it goes. Well, the 90 never ended.
It has never ended till now. It's been more than 10 years. It's still ending.
We never had that conversation again. Yeah. This was, actually, you're right. This was in 2016 there. I think it's 16 January. Yeah, it's almost 10 now.
How did you navigate that now and it's interesting that you wanted to be at PC, then now RWAC, but then you took a detour.
Interesting.
Then you came back. Those are one from your dad's church to Revs, from Revs to the other church, from the other church now back. How? Those are...
Let me give you an interesting story. So at that time, I thought I was going to Papa Center. I went for one service. Okay. That's what happened. I went for one service. I'm like, okay, this is good. You know, I mean, there are already players here. So whether I'm going to serve or not, I was not really big about that. But interesting is the following Sunday, I didn't make it to Papa Center. So I have a friend. In Karen. He's like, hey, guy, Joe, we are planning something and we needed someone else to come help us. You know, can you be available? Just come over. So I'm like, sure. Let me come. So the following weekend on Saturday, I go to FEM. Then it was in a tent. It's 2015. It was still in a tent. Okay. And the choir was preparing for, I think, the launch of the new sanctuary. So I went there, you know, played with them the first weekend. I was like, so you come next weekend. And I came for the second weekend. So that was my transition. Very weird. So now we come to the third week is when the new sanctuary is being opened. And they're like, you know, we have this conference, so please just serve with us. My friend is called Mark. He is a good friend of mine. He has a studio on Gong Road. Yeah. You know him. Yeah. So I remember, now this is key information for this, yeah? I remember that week when the church sanctuary was being launched. Now, people had not been into this sanctuary. They did it, I think the Reverend Remo preferred that it's, you know, kept in it, or is it private, the word? Or rather, people have not
confidential.
Confidential, yeah. So when we walked in, I remember it's on Friday. When we walked in, it was very few of us who had access to and you walk into this space, and I'm telling you, if you've never been to FEM, go visit. Yeah. That sanctuary is well done.
It is. Even from the outside, you can tell.
It is well done. So I remember I walked in on Friday and I was like, good Lord Almighty. The carpet, the lights, the stage, just that sanctuary is well done. You just feel like you're in heaven.
It's like,
literally. You could hear it. Like you
can hear it.
You could hear it. I was blown away. And then so we go up to set the keyboards and stuff like that. And then Mark is like, oh, by the way, there's an organ. Yeah. I don't think I've seen a church in this country with a B3 organ. I've walked around a little bit. I think it's only in FEM. If there's another one, I don't know.
We've not discovered it yet.
A B3 organ. We know the organs of the cathedrals. Yeah. So anyway, I was like, tunafanya hiki tu hivi. Long story. So we set up, we do all that. The weekend comes. I mean, the president is in the country. Was the president part of that? Yeah, I think he came. And then we had that whole week conference. So by the time the conference is done, I was like, okay, that was a nice conference. And then they requested me to come for the following Sunday just to serve. Then I came for the following Sunday. And then the other Sunday. And then the other Sunday.
And it continued.
I think at that time, I was like, I was supposed to go to Papa's Center. But I don't know why I feel, the word here I can use, it felt home.
Okay.
And I had to go pray. I was like, I'm getting confused. I don't want my parent to wonder, what was I doing? So ulisema unaenda huko sasa uko huku. Like hata mimi sielewi. But it felt home. Sometimes I wonder, was I blown away by but I don't think so. Because I traveled. So I had seen this.
Yeah.
You know, so it was not a key thing for me. But it felt home. So I prayed about it and I felt at peace with it. So I was like, okay, let me serve. Let me join the church. Actually, they told me you have to stay at least 3 months before you serve. I'm like, cool. I didn't have a problem.
Yeah.
Well, they allowed me to stay out for 2 Sundays and then they were like, bruh. See, so I didn't make it to the 3 months. You know, you are supposed to stay 3 months, then serve. I think I did 2 Sundays, 2 weekends, and then the third one was like, see,
yeah.
And that's how I joined the team. And 6 years in, I was there every Sunday.
Tell me, I know you've told me this story before, but I want you to tell them.
Okay.
When did you know the assignment shifted? Because you left, right?
Okay.
So walk me through that. I know there are some people who go through, you're still in a place, but the assignment has shifted. And not necessarily now for you to move.
Yes.
But it's for you to either pursue something else.
Yes.
Or to be in the ushering department or to do something. In this case now for you, it was to go back to your
I'm telling you.
So walk us through it.
Let me just, before I do that, I think I want to say, and then I get straight into it. I think I want to say it is really important that we become children of instruction.
Yeah.
Because without instruction, we can do our own things.
That's true.
Okay?
That's
I
completely
insist
true.
on that heavily because sometimes we move out of emotion. It's important
Talk about
to become
it.
people of instruction.
Come on.
So that even though it feels wrong, if God has not said it, I'm not moving.
Yeah.
It's a difficult thing,
yes,
but it's important.
Yes.
And everything I'm describing here is because I felt the instruction, but I did not know how to navigate it. So coming back to what you're saying, 5 years. Huh? I transitioned in 2013.
Yeah.
So I was doing a lot at FEM, right? I was helping with the youth. In fact, I helped form a very big youth choir. It was called Awakened. I think it's still there. You know, I was part of the formative of that. And I added some value here and there, structuring things and helping things be better, just to add value. So I was getting busy. In fact, by the time I was transitioning, I was already in the leadership of the worship team. I was among the leaders. So I remember the year before, this is 2022. I think my wife had transitioned already. It was like, we need to move. Yeah. She had transitioned. But me, I gotta hear the instruction. So me, I'm like, the church drama always happens everywhere. It's normal. So there's one that really hit and she was like, I'm done.
Goodbye.
Good riddance. I'm done. Sweetie, we are going. Like, we're not going. Oh, it was serious. It was serious. Yeah. It was very serious. You know, when you get someone's heart and state of mind and emotions getting affected at that level, it's like, this is not healthy.
Yeah.
But now I'm the husband. I'm the man. Oh, by the way, now I know I went to FEM. Apart from the many reasons, it was to get a wife.
Some of you, where you are, is because you're supposed to.
Yeah. Honestly speaking, because that's I think tukiingia kwa life story yangu, man, 7 hours.
It'll make sense.
But how I transitioned into FEM and I found peace, it didn't even take me a year for me to meet her. And at that time, I did not know she was going to be my wife. She was among the youth singers. in the youth team, yeah? And we just became friends. And then we became very good friends. And then everything aligns was like interesting. And then one thing to another, Allah, we like each other. Aya, we're in love. Aya, let's get married. And we were the very first couple in the history of that church. Yes, in the history of that, let me say in the history, yeah. So in that church, you couldn't do weddings in the sanctuary. It was not a thing. You could not do that. We were the first couple to be given permission to do that. I think even the pastors were surprised. I think it was me, I was shocked. Me, I'm like, what are you doing with all this sanctuary? Me, it's COVID banner. I only have 200 people.
How are we going to fill all these seats?
The whole 4,000-seater church.
Yeah.
And actually, it was not, because I remember we did a wedding. There's another worship leader who did a wedding, and then another one. I think there were only 3. And that matter was closed there.
Favor.
Tell me about that. So I walk in this place, I get a wife, we get the blessing. And the very first time now, look who officiates my wedding.
Reverend Julian.
At that time, I didn't know that he doesn't actually do this wedding.
He doesn't. He doesn't.
So at that time, I didn't know. So he said it when he was preaching. I was like, yeah, you don't?
He actually doesn't.
Yeah, I didn't know.
If he does it, it's for very specific people.
I know. Right?
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
At that time, I didn't know. And I'm not a member of his church.
Yeah.
I'm a foreigner.
Yeah.
Interesting. So I felt so honored. I felt, my goodness, this man of God. Okay. So he's I mean, if you've been part of FEM, you'd understand that external pastors cannot officiate a wedding in the sanctuary. I mean, you understand these things.
Yeah.
So he officiated my wedding as a foreign pastor, and we are the first people in this. Just that picture is just crazy.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Anyway, so now to the transition. Let me run because dwell hapo. But I'm learning a lot even as I talk to you about how God deals with us.
Yes.
My wife had transitioned. That's where I was. Me and Cole like, no, instruction. And then it's like, but remember you told me when you're transitioning from your dad's church, we were to go to Papa Center. I'm like, I know. Somehow God decided I was here. And I guess, you're the reason I came here. Who knows? And maybe the youth choir or whatever God was doing. Now, at that time, things began to be a bit... I might not share too much about that. I don't want to get into church matter. But there was some problem. Okay.
We don't want to know about that.
Yeah, there was some problem. We're trying to do certain things. There's just some problem.
Yeah.
Okay. There's a lot of frustration in the leadership, some challenges here and there. It happens everywhere. And so I remember in 2023, in July, it was on a Wednesday morning, 4 a.m. I was beautifully asleep.
Talk about it.
Beautifully asleep. Now, I'm not the people who... I don't have that history of kuamshwa. There are people who have that relation. Mine is a bit different. The Lord woke me. And I don't. So I would not lie that.
Yeah.
But that particular morning, I remember. Yani, nimebaki picha hapa. Me, I'm serving in church. Me, I'm okay. Things are happening in church. Me, I'm fine. I remember at 4 in the morning, I woke up. Ilepa. And it was very clear. So the instruction was very clear. Yani, me, I don't get this thing. So when you get it, it remains in a baki. I woke up at 4 and the instruction was very clear. It's time for you to go serve your father. And immediately after that, Reverend Julian's face popped. And then there was silence. I was confused. I was like, what the heck was that? What was that?
What did I just see?
What was that? So, of course, I left the bed, knelt and started to pray. I'm like, what is this? What is the instruction? What? Sometimes we are funny. So I prayed and was like, Father, clarify to me what you're saying.
And he's already told you what you need to do.
And then I remember when I was praying, what hit my head is like, you've just been instructed clearly. What else do you want to be told? And I was like, enyewe.
Because most times we already know the instruction. We've been already told what to do. God has already spoken clear. Yani, you know that hand that Rev keeps talking about that writes on the wall. It has been written on the wall what to do. You're like, is it really? Show me, as I come a Gideon. Show me if it is true. May this candle turn upside down when I wake up.
I'm telling you. So at that moment, I felt like the Holy Spirit was like, bruh.
Yeah.
What do you want us to say?
Yeah.
It's been clear. Hata si parable, ni straight. So unataka nini ingine? Nikacha prayer ilienda tu quiet. I was like, and something interesting about that morning I'm not mentioned is, and I'm just being very honest on how that happened, because after that encounter, it felt like it felt like it's a new year. I don't know, you know, when you're kids and then you open a new year, how that feeling was that morning.
Yes.
It felt this is a new year, new season. There's a big shift. It felt like I've shifted from this country to a different country and I'm waking up that morning. You know that change, newness.
Yeah.
That's how that morning was. Me si mtu kwa mkanga 4 a.m. most of the time because I sleep late. That was different. It was different. It was loud. Okay. So I prayed and I was like, and then my head, I let me just use these words, please allow me. Like I heard the voice was like, what are you praying about? The instruction is clear.
No banning.
Okay. So I kept quiet about that. You know, I didn't tell my wife.
Yeah.
But I knew, okay, it's time to transition. I'm in leadership. I'm in the leadership of a youth worship team there. I'm in the leadership of the main choir and stuff like that. So, wow. Let me cut this story. So, I went, of course, I think 2 or 3 weeks later, I went to my leader at firm, told him,
it's time
for me to transition. It was a difficult time, yeah?
Can I ask you?
Yes.
Because I feel like this is something that we struggle with. Yeah. And I think not just worship leaders, but anyone in ministry is how to communicate. The how. Because you can communicate and then something happens and then you are...
Drama checks in.
So how did you communicate?
First of all, let me say I'm a man of a lot of decorum.
Talk about it.
It's how I do stuff, yeah. So even out of that context of that, I always study who I'm talking to, how they're supposed to be talked to, what works, what's their language, how do they hear?
How do they hear and understand what you're saying?
Exactly.
Come on.
It's really important. In fact, I think it's helped me do a lot of changes in many spaces because sometimes people have desire to add value, but how they communicate it does not, who they are communicating to understand it differently, 1 or 2, it's nowhere near their radar of list of importance.
Yeah.
And so we as creatives begin to get frustrated. Because what you're proposing is going to help the ministry, but the person you're proposing to is fighting. Let me use
quote
the word, quote unquote fighting. Sometimes, not all the time, every space is different. But sometimes you just need to know how to talk.
How to speak their language.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's really key.
Okay.
And especially if you... So I think for me, it helped me understand because I played at World Harvest and I played in a couple of ministries. I mean, during the week, I was not busy, right? And so this is before FEM, when I was just finished high school and I was in campus. I'm not busy. And my dad's church, we didn't have activities during the week. So I was free. So I used to go serve. I think I learned a lot on how church administratives work. Language and communication is really important.
Yeah.
And when I'm training, because I do training sometimes, I tell people, sometimes your pastor does not understand your technical language. They don't get it unless they're musical. We are lucky to have one that is that gets it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of them, they don't. And so sometimes you need to demonstrate what you're talking about.
Yes.
Then they be like, I did that sometime in Kawangware. As a church, I also served some time back in Kawangware, Crisco, and I demonstrated. I was like, okay, I had a keyboard for a concert. They never had a concert before that time. We did a simple worship concert, but now I came with a motif. PSR, small keyboards.
Yeah.
I came with the motif and I made sure that keyboard spoke that day.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I think 2-3 months later, they bought a motif. Communication.
Yeah.
But if they used words, man, 10 years, even today, maybe it would not have been bought.
Yeah. Because sometimes what we communicate is not bad. It's very valid.
Very important.
But how we relay that information and the perception. Yeah. So very the wisdom therein is very, very important.
Very key. Yeah. So I think just understanding where I was, I knew how we communicate there. So I communicated in their language.
Okay.
Yeah, it's time for me to do this and that. It's very formal. Things there are a bit formal,
Mutaratara.
Kuna mutara, naweka mzuri. Yeah, and I communicated well. I wouldn't say, so the leadership is a group. It's not one person. It's a group, we don't have a team. Okay, there's a team lead, but it's called a com, right? So, there are those who are like, okay, we pray for you, everything will be well. The others will be like, no, you can't be moving. Okay, so everyone responds differently. I remember even there's one person who told me, one person who told me, Joe, if you leave this covering, your life.
And they always say that. They always do. Let me tell you. It is, I think, with the worship leaders I have handled in the past year, the things I've had people tell, or mostly it doesn't come from their leaders.
Oh yeah,
it's from people around. It's like, if you leave this covering, your life will not be the same.
It hit me like that. Others are like, please be sure you'll be in danger. I'm like, my goodness, when I'm going, where am I? Sometimes I wonder. It's like, my goodness. Okay, anyway, sometimes I understand them, but I'm like, we need to mature quickly as believers. When we begin to look at a space as that place is almost like a God element to us, we are in danger. Because all these ministers are ministers of God.
Yes.
We are one church.
One body.
Okay?
Yes.
So before we begin to trivialize our friends because they are transitioning to a different church, God has given them an assignment there.
Yeah.
All of us are doing the same thing.
Yeah.
So why are you putting it as... You understand?
Yeah.
We've godified a ministry or a person or a man of God. Very dangerous.
Yeah.
So anyway, I was like, well, I expected it, but I didn't really expect it that much. So I was like, is this serious? You're telling me to my face? To my face?
Yeah,
like,
if you leave.
Literally,
Discovering.
Anyway.
Meanwhile, God has already spoken.
I'm just obeying God. I'm not trying to be, I'm not church jumping. I'm obeying. In my life, I've been members of 3 churches. My dad's church, and where I am. All the others are just serving. You play. So why you treat anyway? So they're there. They tell you that, So
God has told you to transition. You've told the leadership higher.
And I didn't move immediately. I told them and I waited till end of month. I finished the month.
Okay.
Yeah.
You took some time to, because a good leader leaves tracks behind for the next person to be able to.
Correct.
Okay. That's good. So
whatever that I needed to, there was drama that time. I was not doing so much, but I can't communicate today.
Okay.
And then next Sunday you don't see me. No, for me, I'm like, that's hiyo ni kuandaka tu mtu bana. Wapatie time. Wa digest.
Low bell.
Bana. So I stayed the whole month and then the last Sunday of the month. And in fact, I told them I'm leaving the last Sunday of the month.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's no beef. I'm not upset.
They are not.
There's no issue.
They are cool. It's just a different season.
It's just a different season.
Yeah.
I'm given an instruction. I'm just obeying.
Yeah.
We remain friends. I still go there. I still go there to visit and talk to them.
Okay.
Have time together. So, yeah, communicated. Then they did for me a send-off, which I really appreciated. We cut
That's
cake
lovely.
and they prayed. And I appreciate tutoke vizuri when possible. But we endeavor to keep peace, Yeah.
Yeah,
that's how I transitioned.
Yeah.
And I went to work because I was told to go to serve my father. So I joined the church. I think at that time there were around 7 keyboard players in the church.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, okay. Kwa nini nimekuja? Genuinely, because I'm like, where I'm coming from, there's one of the leaders who's literally begging me not to leave. Like, Joe, like, we will edit what needs to be. You understand?
Yeah.
Because you are just doing a lot of things.
Yeah.
And then I come to a place I'm, quote, not needed. If in that perspective, because now everything is, the ministry is in order. Music iko fiti.
Yeah.
Players ni wengi. Everything is fine.
So at some point you didn't understand why
am I here?
why you were.
I was like, why am I here? And a couple of Sundays, I think, I remember, I just came to church, sat at the back, or in the Mugo Katikati, fellowship and go home, because now I'm like, what am I doing? They don't need, you understand what I mean?
Yes.
Like, they don't need me. There are places that needed me more.
Yeah.
I've rejected certain offers by some churches, go come MD and do this. And naoneka some good amount. Uko tu, So I've rejected all these things and I've come here and I'm like, but God, why did you send me here? Kuko sawa. Eugene is doing a good job.
Yeah.
The team is fine. Our worship is killing. The band is full. So I didn't understand, genuinely speaking. But I was like, you know what? It's okay. Let me obey. That was a confusing time for me.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that was confusing. I was like, am I had my own things, It was a confusing time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the lesson in here is to obey God nonetheless because it's not about your feelings. It's about the instruction.
Yeah.
And it might not seem like what it was or what you were told. You are coming to a place, now I am coming because there's no one who can. I'm not coming to fill a gap. I'm coming to figure this out. Yeah. So coming to a place where there is everything. Nobody's struggling.
You're not needed.
You're not needed there.
Yeah.
But the instruction was go and serve. So you're like, to what capacity, sir? So sometimes it's just to obey the instruction.
Yeah, I'm telling you, because all my life, everywhere I've been was, it's always been, there's something to do. Like I would see gaps and and some places needed a lot of help. And I would see, okay, this is how I can be of help. And I find pleasure in helping and solving. I came to this place and I was like, I'm not saying that like everything was perfect, but in the context of the things that I would do, everything was good.
Yeah.
And there's enough people to serve. So, okay, why would I leave another ministry suffering to come sit in a place where is full? It was a bit confusing, yeah? It was. Those were a long 3 months. So wondering, what am I doing?
But finally, you were able to get to
God was very clear. No.
Oh, he got to you.
Yes.
See, there's a lesson in there.
This, I don't think unless I've shared this with individuals, many people don't know what really happened, yeah? Because I was just at home. So I remember that's the first time during that period is when we got our son. And so I was away from church, I think for 2 months or something. So we moved in July, we get our son in October. And I was helping out at South, where a church plant. So I went and helped out, I think 1, 2 or 3 Sundays. Then we got our son. So I went home. And then the next time I'm coming was for the 31st crossover. I came and I remember I served. I don't know why I was. I think the worship team was somewhere else. I can't remember the story, but somehow I was on the keyboard that evening.
There was a window.
I don't know that to call it that.
That what Rev calls it. There was a window of opportunity.
I don't know that to call it that, but I remember I was on the keyboard that day.
But you were there because you were supposed to be there, so that's what Rev saw it.
I don't know whether that was. I know. Yeah.
Trust me, mambo ya Mungu.
Mambo ya Mungu ni mengi.
Yeah.
All I remember is in January, I received a text, come to my office. So at that time, I thought it was something completely different because I had...
You're like, papers.
Yes. You know this story.
Yeah. I'm like, business, let us. How am I going to pitch this idea?
I had approached him to pitch, to get, to help me in my business. And I was trying to get some funding at that time.
Yeah.
And so I tried to talk to him and, that conversation was left hanging. And so when he reached out, I knew this was about that. So I put my stuff together. I'm like, opportunity to push this thing.
Yeah.
When I get there and I'm doing my paper stuff, and then he's like, I'm not interested in that right now. That was such a blank statement for me. So I was now left, okay.
So why am I here?
All right. Because no agenda was shared. And then he began to say what he wanted. Like, I want you to be serve with me and play and do all this. And the more I listened to him, at first I didn't understand what he means because I'm like, but whoever is playing keyboard that day will play when you're preaching. For me, it was not a role. That's something that happens naturally.
Mm-hmm.
But for him, there's a way he presented it, like he was under how do I say this? The way he said it, it was like it was time for him to do this, and I was the person to do it. Okay, there's a way he brought it, and it was like an instruction or a guidance. So let me say it like that. So I'm like, so my role is to play for you, but he does not sing exactly. He only sings.
He does.
He does sing.
Yeah.
But the role is not to play in his albums. You get, like, this is when he's preaching. I'm like, okay, so that's the role. At first I was like, okay, so that's what I'm going to do in church. Interesting.
Yeah.
I've had people do it in the US, but I was not, you get. So I was like, it got me by surprise. But I was like, okay, I'm ready. Let's go. Let's do this. I think 2 or 3 months later is when God reminded me of that July Wednesday morning. It's like, by the way, I was not going to serve Ruach. I was going to serve. That was the instruction.
That was the instruction. Go and serve your father. You're like, all this while I've been thinking.
When it hit me like that, I was like, Not that I wouldn't do praise and worship, but now it
made sense.
It made sense.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to fit myself into this. I was like, why am I here?
Yeah.
Now it made sense. God is faithful.
God is truly faithful.
God is faithful. So, that's my transition story.
Now I want us to transition as we finish. I want us to talk about briefly to talk about your engagement with worship leaders. You've been everywhere. You've played for the who's and who's. You have interacted with the who's and who's. How I know you've seen most of them go through transitions, go through different seasons. Like, if you were to tell them, or based on what you have seen, if you were to advise them, if you were to say, this is how I handled mine, this is how I think you should handle yours, what would you say? Being that you deal with us, every day. And you've seen it. You're like, who you? The way you are communicating this story, the way you are saying this thing, you are saying it in a manner to suggest that. So how are you able to, or what can you tell us as worship leaders now from an instrumentalist point of view, someone who has gone through a transition, someone who has been able to sit and listen to God, someone who God has told, wait, Just the instruction was you are like, I want to play this. What can you tell a worship leader as we finish?
Okay. I think mine is to... This statement is simple, but I think it carries a lot of weight.
Mm-hmm.
Living a life of instruction is not easy.
Mm-hmm.
What I mean by instruction is fully depending on direction from God, no matter how we feel.
Mm-hmm.
It's not an easy thing, but that, I feel, is one of the key solutions. I mean, your question was wide, but I feel I've seen people so church hurt exists.
And it's valid.
And it is valid.
Yes.
Because we're not dealing with gods in a sense.
You're dealing with human beings.
They are human. Well, they are gods. According to scripture, we are gods.
Yeah.
Let me undo this.
Yeah.
But we are dealing with humans that have error, humans that are not perfect, humans that are also trying to figure themselves out. And so as we work as a community, hurting each other is given. We're going to hurt each other.
Yeah.
But I believe heavily that the maturity of a minister needs to be one that understands we are in the army. Okay? Now
that you're not a civilian since 1 Timothy.
So because the virtue that we are serving tells us first that we are exposed to war that we wouldn't be exposed to if we're just down there, right? Number two, there's an additional assignment, role, weight, and stuff like that. So looking at these things from an army perspective, it helps us be able to have a better spectacle of things. And so as we are dealing with the dynamics of church and what people are doing, what people are not doing, the question is, what is God telling me at this time? Instruction. Because for me, I would tell you something that even as I was serving at FEM, there's a particular time I felt I'm not getting opportunity to do what I need to do. I was giving 10%, but and I'm like, why am I giving 10%? But there's no space to give the 90 because of how things are. Yeah? It was frustrating at some point. And I go through these things as well. I think there's that you'd get emotional about certain things and you'd feel certain ways about your man of God or a leader or stuff like that. But I think the biggest thing I've learned is God knows why we are where we are, what we're supposed to learn. He has the script of our life. Yeah. And certain things we go through sometimes are lessons. Sometimes they are the needed things to transition us. Sometimes they are we need to overcome to get to the next level. Everything is in his book, in his hands. Yeah. So our part is what? God, this is painful. What should I do? Should I transition? Should I not transition? Should I wait? Should I go? Let God give that instruction. Because when we go too early, we abort. Yes. When we go too late,
when you overstay,
we've lost it. Yeah. That would be I think that's the biggest lesson that I would say I would advise. It's like I know some stories are horrific. They are horrific, literally, Yeah. And I know what I'm saying there are two ways to look at it. So I'm very careful on how I'm saying it, because sometimes it could be, let me use the word abusive space. Yes. Really, like even physically abusive space. I mean, generally speaking. Yeah. Definitely you keep away from that. Yeah. However, transitioning out of a church is a God thing, in my view. So if the space is abusive, then let me leave the space. And then you understand? Yeah. Because my life is not made of the altar. My life is my life. Yeah. With or without the altar. Yeah. I don't have to serve to be in a church. Yeah. We are there to receive from God. Yeah. So I think that's how I look at it. And I'm like, I think the relationship with God, we as ministers, is really important. And what I keep on telling other people or most people, as I'm sharing or just having moments with worship people, ministers and stuff, is we always have to remember that we and the pastor, in my view, same what's up. We deal with the souls of men as they enter the sanctuary. We prepare them for the word of God that the man of God is going to give. And so all of us, so if he's being hit and your pastor is going through crazy things, why do we think we're going to go through less?
You're not going to go through less. You're going to be hit also.
Exactly. But it's the maturity in the things of God that makes us look at things from a spiritual perspective before we react physically.
Yes.
And so instruction is important. May we move with instruction before we make wrong decisions.
Amazing. That is so profound. Thank you. Thank you so much for coming. How can people find you? And where can they find you?
Find me at work.
We can find you at work.
Anyway, I think my handles are all Joe MasterKeyz everywhere. Joe MasterKeyz everywhere.
Guys, if you need an MD, if you need a producer, if you need a creative director, if you need what else do you do?
Intercessor.
If you need the person that can, handle your project. This is the guy. Please reach out to him on all his social media handles.
MasterKeyz,
you'll be able to get, if you need a piano teacher and a coach, because he's also a very good coach, please reach out to him. Thank you so much for coming.
It's been an honor to be here.
Thank you so much. And thank you guys for joining us. This was our first episode. We have a lot in store this season. We have a plethora, a lineup of heavyweights. I cannot wait for you to watch the next episode. We are going to have an amazing guest who will talk more deep. We'll go deeper into this whole seasons and transition story. But for now, bye. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Please follow us on our social media handles. We have a WhatsApp community. If you go to any of my social media handles, you can be able to get that on there as well. Join the movement. You cannot do life alone as a worship leader without a community. It's not possible. It cannot happen. You have to join us, So join us. Let's walk this journey together. It's better to walk together than to walk alone. The Bible says that two cannot walk together unless. So community is very, very important. So I'd urge you to, join our WhatsApp group, follow all our social media handles. If you've not followed us by now, I have a song out called Come Holy Spirit. More is coming. Please listen, share. Until next time, keep it beyond Sunday. Bye-bye.